If you're experiencing anything really negative, bad, some kind of disease or something in your body, listen up. Your body keeps the score. I don't know if you've ever heard of that book, but I highly suggest it. But I'm going to recommend a different book that I actually just started listening to, and it's blowing my mind. It's called It Didn't Start With You. And I've only listened to like the first hour of it so far, and I just wanted to share a story from it because it's kind of mind-blowing. So there's this thing called generational trauma. Things that can happen in our bodies. Trauma causes disease and feelings in our bodies that we don't like. It also causes a lot of our emotional depression and even a lot of our problems with our physical health. So in this book, there's a story about a boy that came to a therapist and he said, I cannot sleep. I've gained tons and tons of weight. He's in his 20s and he looked probably 10 years older. And the therapist asked him, well, what happened? When did this start happening? And he said, I don't know, but ever since I turned 19, I have not been able to sleep through the night. I've had massive insomnia to the point where I've gained tons of weight and I just had to quit school and all the things. So the therapist asked him, is there anything that's happened in your family? Or what happened at age 19? Maybe there was somebody in your family that had something happen. And as the boy gave more and more symptoms, he said, well, that night, I just woke up one night suddenly when I was 19 and I was freezing and I couldn't fall back asleep no matter what. I was just trying everything I could to fall back asleep. So this is what the therapist, what happened at 19 to anybody in your family? Could be generations back. I want you to ask all your family members and ask if anyone had anything happen at 19. This is where it gets really cool. The boy found out that generations before him, his great uncle that he had never heard of and the family had never talked about because it was so tragic, had actually drowned and frozen to death. Not drowned, sorry. He had frozen to death and got hypothermia and had been trying so hard. He was like one of those workers at night during a winter storm trying to get the electricity back on. And he was found several hours after having collapsed from hypothermia. He had been hanging on for dear life, trying to survive, and he just did. So the family stopped talking about him. But this 20-year-old kid was now feeling the exact things in his body that his uncle had felt a couple generations before him. Trauma lives in the body, and there's a thing called generational trauma that you don't even have to have known this person, this ancestor from your past, but the trauma from their experience can carry into your DNA. Like and follow for more, because I will tell you how this young man used that knowledge to then heal from his insomnia.